Okay, Tony, you're back for another Tack Talkin Tuesdays.
Yes,
How you doing?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good.
Before we get into our subject this week, tell me how last week went. We had all those trials. How'd you feel opening week went?
Last week went pretty good. You know, won a couple day races, you know, and then the trials. I mean, the horses, you know, they put out what they can put out, and they didn't have any luck qualifying any, but we'll get them for the lead board.
Yeah, we got another set coming up later on in about a month.
Absolutely.
So. Okay, Tack Talkin Tuesday. This week we're talking about blinkers. Now, a lot of horses wear them, but in the quarter horse world, a lot more wear them, percentage-wise, than do in thoroughbreds. Why do you think that is?
Absolutely. Okay, so you know what? Per se, for me, in my experience, I think a horse will relax more without the blinkers. Can see around it, can see its whole element, so it's able to kind of calm down and see what's going on. Even some of the quarter horses, they'll even train without the blinkers on, or excuse me, without the blinkers. But I feel as if the blinkers, you put the blinkers on, it's more, the horse will focus more on what's in front of them and less worried about you. And that's really important when you're standing inside the gate, because if you're in the gate, you want that horse to be as focused as possible, looking forward. So that is when the latch opens up and it gives you a little bit of daylight and them gates start cracking open, that horse is already on the move out. But if it doesn't have the blinkers and it's able to see all around it, any little noise that it's making, it can even be just as simple as you're breathing hard, and or the gate man yells, or there's a bird behind you, anything. And it'll catch that horse's attention. Well, with the blinkers on, it's still looking forward, it's still a little more focused, a little more prone to just leave the latch.
So is it kind of like the flipping halters? You know, the quarter horses use those, very few thoroughbreds use those, and of course it's the same thing, keeping them focused down the track, right?
That's right, and then it takes a little bit of the edge off. You know, instead of the headman trying to muscle them to look forward or to try to focus them to pay attention, it just keeps them focused forward. That's mainly what the equipment is for. It's not, has nothing to do with the animals, you know, if they're crazy or the flipping or whatever, that's all just terminology.
Right.
It's more of just a tool just so we can focus and get out the gates first before everybody else.
Now, you work with a lot of trainers. How many trainers do you have to go back and say, hey, this horse needs blinkers, or hey, this horse will work better without them? How much input do you have?
A lot, you know, a lot. And the trainers want to know. You know, a lot of the top trainers, they want to know. They work with you a lot. They usually automatically will put on cheaters. We call them cheaters. They're just cut down very, very, very thin, as you'll probably show them in the video that you took a little earlier. And those were cheaters that were there, and they're cut down very, very thin. And then from there, you can just judge whether you're going to need more blinker or less blinker.
Yeah,
and they like that. You know, they want to know what you feel. They want to know what the horse feels.
Got to have that feedback. Now, what about? I was going to ask you about that. There's so many different blinkers. There's those little bitty cheaters, like you mentioned, and then what kind of horse needs a full cup?
Quarter cup, full cup, French. They got some with the holes cut out. It just, like I said, it all depends on the horse.
Well, tell me about that. Why would a horse?
Times,
why would a horse need the little hole cut out? If you're trying to block their vision, why would you open up a little bit of the vision?
There's a lot of horses that they're so talented, they're able to make the lead handedly, and when they make the lead, they're lost. So a lot of times they'll use that little hole. If a horse is coming up along the sides of them, they can see the pressure coming.
You want them to be able to see that,
so that way
right?
No horse sneaks up behind them running and runs past them. By the time that other horse catches up and they try to re-break and rerun, it'll probably be too late.
Run out of time.
You run out of time.
Right.
So that little hole is just, like I said, so that's nobody slipping.
Is that kind of like when you show a horse the whip, like halfway down the stretch, so you want to show them, hey, something's out here, get going.
That's right. A lot of times you see a rider flagging, and that's not necessarily for looks. That's just more of the sense you're trying to keep the horse honest. Hey, you know what? Keep it going, because you never know what's behind you.
All right. Well, blinkers, we learned more about them today. Thank you, Tony, so much. We'll see you next week, maybe, for another Tack Talkin Tuesday. Good luck this week.